Unlike most, Ekiti politics is noted for its unpredictable nature and the strength of character of the Ekiti electorate. Today, we seek to understand the voices of the squad and the players at work in the run-up to and after the upcoming July 14 governorship election. I'll be talking to a key player in the state's politics as I bid you welcome to your preferred hard talk interview program on TVC, Fireworks. I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Thank you for staying tuned to Fireworks. Today my guest is the state chairman of the PDP, the People's Democratic Party in Ekiti, in the person of Honorable Gboyega Oguntuase. Thank you for your time, sir.
I appreciate you, madam. God bless you.
Amen, and you too, sir. Let's start with you giving us a sense of the current state of affairs here in Ekiti State, PDP.
Yes, one, I want to correct the opinion that Ekiti State, the politics or election results or the result of elections are not predictable. Usually, we could predict politics and its result in Ekiti. I go back to when Adebayo was governor of Ekiti State and Peter Adefauci was the candidate of PDP. The aggressive campaign of Peter Adefauci at a point became so awesome that people knew that this man coming will win that election. And that was why, even with the use of money and everything, the
by who
expectation.
Now? By who?
By the AD then, headed by the governor Adebayo. Despite that, PDP, under its its candidate, Peter Adefauci, won.
The sitting government was AD and the opposition was PDP. That's the unpredictable nature. So I understand your disagreement, but
yes,
let's not lose sight of the discussion.
Ekiti knows where they are going. It makes it very
You have lent credence to my start off of the program again. Yeah. The strength of character of the Ekiti people.
The strength of character, there is no doubt about it. Strength of character will make them make a decision that will make the end predictable almost from the beginning.
Okay, so let's make progress now.
The PDP is stronger than what it used to be. Now stronger even than when Fauci won the last election. During the last election, Fauci defeated the APC in all the 16 local governments in the Ekiti State. He defeated this same Fayemi APC is representing, even in Oyo local government, in his local government. He defeated Fayemi in Isho in his own town. Now, PDP is stronger now than then. Why? Because of the performance of Peter Adefauci.
We'll talk about the performance, sir. I'm glad you have a house that is in order, well, that you say that is in order. But what role, as state chairman, you are expected to play a stabilizing factor in, making sure all your members are happy? So what role did you play in preventing the defection of key players in the party, like former deputy governors, Bisi Omoyeni, Sikiru Lawal, senator representing Ekiti Central, Fatima Rajirasaki, and current representative of Ekiti Central too, Olumide Oni. What role did you play in preventing these series of defections?
Thank you. Again, we are talking about predictability now. You see, from onset, we knew that Olumide, for instance, would leave PDP. Why? Because he maintained a position anti the governor of the state. All appealed to him by members, by his colleagues at the House of Representatives. Despite appeals to him, by the leaders and elders of his town, Efanlaye. He made up his mind to be anti-Fauci, and when you are anti-Fauci, there is a little problem you're going to face. That problem is you now find it difficult, even from your unit level, to start being in harmony with people, because Fauci is a grassroots.
Okay, let's say that understandably, there are people who have ideological differences with their party leaders.
It might not be ideological. It might be personal.
Personal?
It might be issue of ego.
Personal? But what about the others listed?
You should give me space of time to analyze these individuals, because what made them to leave PDP, they are simply different. You talk about my Raji Rataki, for instance. This is my cousin. I love her. I respect her as a person.
But you're no longer in the same party.
Yes, that's a matter of, you know, we've been having this problem for over 3 years. She has alienated herself from Ado Ekiti people, our immediate constituency. In actual fact, the popular Udiloko in Ado, she found it difficult to come in the past 2-3 years, because the people of Ado Ekiti had kept on celebrating a man that has turned the old Ado into a modern city.
Before we begin to talk about all that,
I moved to Omoyeni and Co. Let me just treat them as individuals. Omoyeni is a respectable person. I love him so much. But if you believe you cannot achieve your ambition within a party, that is a personal opinion, that is a personal ambition, is a personal thing. No matter the pressure they put upon you, if you are interested in that particular ambition, it is not a resolvable issue. There was a time Fauci wanted to be governor, this last time, and Fauci called Omoyeni, please, you are my deputy, could you let me run? And he said, no, he will run too. You know, that is personal. And now when some stakeholders talked about Kolapa Olusola Eleka, that they wanted it, I gave them a rest. I gave them peace of mind. I said, we are going to have a very fair and free primaries. That's the only thing a party chairman can offer a person.
And that's precisely the bone of contention for some of them. For instance, Sikiru Lawal says that he's leaving because the delegates list ahead of the primary was already skewed in favor of Governor Ayodele Fayose, who has anointed his deputy to be the sole candidate of the PDP.
Thank you, thank you. If he has said that, well, let me first of all say, Sikiru Lawal is my traditional friend. We are inmates. We grew up within the same street in Ado Ekiti. So, but let me enlighten you. There are statutory delegates. I don't know which delegate list you think had been screwed. No. You have statutory delegates. Can you change the council chairman? Can you change party chairman? Can you change senators and members of the House of Representatives? Can you change members of BOT? These are statutory delegates. Delegates who are delegates by virtue of the existing laws. Then again, the 3 ad hoc delegates, you see, they were elected in the presence of representatives of the national level. Actually, Senator David Mark, the former president of the Senate, headed that election team. Except, of course, you start to doubt the integrity of an awesome character and personality like David Mark, you know for sure.
It's interesting that your love and for these people, some of them, and your friendship with some of them was not enough to prevent their dissatisfaction and exit from the party. Now, they were not the only ones who cried foul. Former deputy governor of this state and current senator Abiodun Olujimi had said to newsmen that the governor had hijacked the party structure and they had written to the party leadership to intervene in the imposition of Governor Fayose's deputy as the anointed candidate.
You see, again, these are respectable people.
Did you also meet with Senator Olujimi?
Hold on. Give me space. You see, as the party chairman, I think I visit on the ground of Senator Olujimi. I visited Ekiti East to supervise our empowerment program 3 times. Did Fauci stop me from going there? And I told him, like I said, we are going to have free and fair election. And to ensure that they, upon their demand, will involve the national level. Even look at our primaries. To the whole world, it was free, without blemish. It was clear. The winner won clearly. There was no doubt it was spotless. So I think there was if an anticipated fear about the result.
But you are Governor Fayoshe's long-time ally. In fact, you worked with him during his first time as governor in 2003. Governor Fayoshe.
Oh, that I am.
His long-time ally.
Yes.
So would you, no, if he had an interest or a stake in something, would you?
I am a man who had
would
never
you shy away
him
from implementing your boss's script, which is what is believed amongst these people?
I'm a lawyer and I'm a child of God. Nobody in the whole world, despite my love for you. I love my wife. My wife cannot tell me, go and call male, female. I love and respect Fauci. I've not betrayed him. If that is what they call long-standing relationship, beautiful. But Fauci will not tell me to call black white. And virtually all the ants of the national level were in that election. If the performance of that election is not satisfactory to anybody, you are not indicting me, probably you are indicting the national level.
Yeah, but despite the intervention, after that primary, a key player still announced his exit from the party, Prince Dayo Adeyeye.
My sister, I want to tell you that every individual has right to be a member and to dissolve or delete his membership from a party. All the conditions to make a man remain in the party after election were met. Free, fair, transparent election. He acknowledged it. Just before the counting of votes, he said Okowa, who supervised that election, the governor of Delta, is now a specialist on Congress, I'm quoting him, and convention.
But he returned to say Governor Fayoshe intimidated delegates.
Hold on. Let me state my facts. He, with his own mouth, you cannot approbate and reprobate. He said, we've had an excellent election. Eleka himself, too, said, we have had an excellent election. And that was preceding the counting of votes. When votes were counted, even in the process of counting the votes, people now started knowing where the whole thing will end. When Adeyeye wanted to leave, he went to Okowa and the governor of Delta, who was supervising the election. He said, I agree with whatever might be the result of this election. Please allow me to go and rest. You know, gentlemen, but the fact that if he still wants to be governor, and PDP platform is no longer vacant because there had been a free, fair election and somebody has gotten the flag of that party. Now, because of personal impression, personal ambition, he still has the right to say, let me look for other ground to fly the flag. He cannot say he left because of immorality. He cannot say because he left. He cannot say he left because there was no free and fair election.
But he spoke afterwards and said that delegates were intimidated and that Governor Fayoshe didn't allow his team to campaign ahead of that primary.
Let me tell you, my sister.
That was afterwards, after the primary, where he had initially accepted whatever results were announced.
My sister, if he had no opportunity of campaigning, probably he just would have won delegates from his local governments.
All right.
Let me tell you.
I'm glad you made that point, and that's where I'm headed. Are you worried that the defection of these strong players of the party may affect the chances of the party in the coming election.
Amoyeni, who left us for SDP, equally expressed that SDP was not prepared for a free and fair election. He refused to take part in that election. Bedre, who left our party, said later that the party he went into did not have a free and fair election. So this kind of usual and expected disharmony with a structure that may not produce you as a candidate, maybe the character of some people. As far as we are concerned, we met with all conditions precedent to make all of us work as a family. Who could chain all the councillors in Ekiti or detain them in a house and refuse anybody from having access to them? It's not possible. How many secretaries do we have in all the wards? We have 177 secretaries in all the 177 wards. Women leader 177, chairman 177, vice chairman 177, youth leaders 177. We are going to cage all of them at the same time and prevent people from approaching them. We have had a very credible primaries that had not been faulted anywhere in the world, except in the balance of these individuals we are talking about. We love them.
And you have had a credible primary in the parlance of you, the state chairman. We're going to find out if Ekiti...
In the eyes of everybody.
Yes, well, and we will find out if Ekiti people have celebrated that election and will be celebrating ahead of that actual election on July 14. You're watching Fireworks. If you've been following our conversation, I've been talking with the Ekiti State PDP Chairman, Honorable Gboyega Oguntuase. There is more. Stay with us. Yes, thank you for staying tuned to Fireworks. It's indeed a fiery edition today, as I've been taking on the very vocal Ekiti State PDP Chairman, who's been helping us understand what exactly transpired between key players ahead of the PDP primaries here in Ekiti State, and what do we expect towards the actual election. Let's make progress now as I ask, why should the PDP be re-elected in Ekiti State?
Yes. Again, the strength of character of Ekiti people will make us win that election. They can look at the history of Fayemi, who is the APC candidate. They know that
Let's talk about the PDP.
I'm coming. It depends on my own arrangement. I'm answering your question.
Why should Ekiti people vote for the PDP again?
Now, why? Because of the strength of character of Ekiti people, they will always pick a party that was able to promote education from 35th position in Gboyega to 4th position. They will always want to vote a party that elevated our level from 35th position in NECO to 4th position. They want to vote for a party that made the School of Nursing in Ekiti to be scoring first position in almost 2-3 years running now. I want to tell you, they want to vote for a party that has improved the infrastructure of Ekiti. There is no local government in Ekiti State where you do not have up to 3 to 4 dualized roads. Look at the state capital. Look at the international market. Look at the dualized roads all over. Look at the flyover in Ekiti. Look at the new government, the governor's office. Go and check Aduniola Yinka's monuments. That Aduniola Yinka, for clarity, was the deputy governor under Fayemi. The lady unfortunately died, but it was PDP. We built a house, a monument that befits a beautiful and a great woman.
But are we talking about this same government that downsized, sacked traffic wardens, stopped the payment of 5,000 naira stipend to old people in Ekiti State, did a staff audit and cut down workforce by 1,000 and is still owing salaries? Is it the same government that you're talking about?
Yes, thank you very much. You see, let me tell you, we have salaries and arrears to pay. But we have, it is to the understanding.
By the way, we're weighing that against the promise of the Fayose administration at the start to improve the quality of lives of Ekiti people.
You will be doing me a little service to allow me answer your questions.
Go ahead.
If you saturate me and you do not allow me to answer your questions one after the other, the people will be at loss. Now let me tell you simply, you know, we owe salaries. Why? You know, we are paying, Ekiti earns about, should be earning 2 billion every month from the Federation account. Now, from source, they deduct 1 billion to settle the indebtedness the APC government under Fayemi landed us in. And when the other 1 billion comes, we will call the civil servant, we call the teachers, we call traditional rulers. This is how much we have in Ekiti. That's transparency. How does it settle salaries that is almost 2 billion? Then we all agree. Let 2 months settle one salary. All of us will sit in a round table and we will agree. All of us, including the workers. So there is nothing the governor is doing in isolation. Again, I want to tell you, there is no money we stopped from paying, except, of course, the 5,000 you said was the 5,000 people unpicked by the APC then. We cannot do that. We have to do something that is universal, that will involve APC, that will involve ABGA, that will involve PDP, that will involve non-politicians. And that is exactly what we are doing.
Is that the stomach infrastructure?
It is part of stomach infrastructure. But I'm telling you that the 20,000, the 5,000 you're talking about, we still pay today. We even still pay more. Now, in between now and when Fayose will totally take exit, our youths will be empowered, our youths will receive alert. Again, all outstanding bursaries.
Will be, they are not yet empowered.
All the outstanding bursaries, we are settling that. And every student in Ekiti is happy with us because of that. All homes where this money should be taken from, and the governor is paying almost 150 per student. They are glad that we are doing that. That there is no government in the whole world that will have 100% performance. What is important? Are we performing reasonably well in the eyes of an ordinary person in Ekiti? You say yes. And that is what is important to us. If we have done, we have substantially complied with universal standard of delivery of dividends of democracy, then we are beautiful.
You talk about your challenge, about the deduction from the source. Allocation from source. But this is the same government that has had access to Paris Club debt refund of 4.7 billion naira during the third release of the third tranche. The first tranche, 8.8 billion naira. And you have also had a bailout fund. I can't immediately recall that figure now. And by the way, this state government has also been able to shore up its IGR to about 3.3 billion naira every month. So it stands to reason to ask yet again.
Thank you for your figures. How does it
manage these resources?
All your figures, the correct figures are known to all the people that we work with. And like I told you, we have a committee composed of civil servants, labor leaders, our traditional rulers. When all this Paris money comes, all we do is, this is the money that comes, and that is the transparency they respect in PDP and Peter Odele. When the money comes, they will call all this, how much we have, how many months salary can it take care of. And the 4 billion you are talking about, do you think 4 billion could have settled all the indebtedness that was existing? So all those things we have done faithfully and taking God Almighty into consideration.
But it has also embarked on an ambitious bridge project that is set to cost about 4.5 billion naira. So let's weigh that with the dualization of the roads that you talk about in each local government. Isn't it prioritizing infrastructure, which is important, by the way, but over what is equally important, which is human capacity, the development of human capacity?
Madam, we have to balance the two.
Which is its key problem, its key promise, rather, to improve the quality of lives of Ekiti people.
A responsible government will be planning for Ekiti, not of today, but of 10 years' time. Do you know what the traffic will be in another 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 years' time? We are planning for that. And that is done in America, that is done in UK, where they will build roads and they will close it. And it will not be accessible to some people until such a time when the traffic will be, will be so demanding.
Traffic that will be commuted by impoverished, angry people?
No. Ekiti people are happy with us because of these programs and projects we have been able to do. It is true. We have salaries, arrears, we have huge challenges. I've explained it to you, and all these are known. The present position is the position the workers have agreed with, and all of us, we have said it, that whatever could be done humanly to reduce the wage of outstanding salaries, we will do it. And
what are your thoughts, by the way, on the investments of your government in the health sector, for which doctors in that sector say they are running away from Ekiti State because of poor funding? And only last year, which is the year before the exit of this administration, the government spent less than 5% of its budget on the health sector.
Thank you. You see, as far as we are concerned, the health sector will know that we are not hostile towards them. And there is
it's not
nobody...
hostility, it's investment.
Just hold on. We are not hostile towards them. When you're not hostile towards somebody, you'll be planning for the future. And the essence of investment is the future, not yesterday and not just today. So the government, as far as we are concerned, we work hand in hand with the Nigerian Medical Association and with all the related sectors under the health umbrella. And whatever we could within the limited resources available, we have not refused to do it. So.
As we coast, Honorable Chairman, are you weary of the use of federal might in securing an election victory for your opponent in this election? Because it's been expressed in the opposition quarters that it was the use of federal might that secured victory for Governor Ayodele Fayose in 2014.
Number one, let me tell you that it was not the use of federal might that secured victory for Fayose. Fayose is a man of history. When you look at when he removed Adebayo, he acted from outside with no force backing him beside God Almighty. Now it is true that APC on their own are knowing that the federal government could support that which is ugly and bad, and that the federal government hates Fayose and by extension PDP, because Fayose has been the voice of the voiceless in Nigeria, and that you cannot take away from him. I want to tell you, I will reply it with the prophetic saying of a man of God. You see, that war that you see will not enter this city. As the Lord God of Israel lives, that war you see, that war they are planning will not enter Ekiti land. And I want to tell you that because of the strength of character of Ekiti people, we are ready to stand the face of their bullets and their awesome machinery they are bringing to Ekiti State. We are only scared of just one thing, and that is INEC announcing the wrong result. INEC does not have sufficient integrity that could make people like us to go to bed and sleep with two eyes closed. But I want to tell you the word of God. Olushola Kolako, the candidate of PDP, has been served by the word of God, shall be the next governor of the state. And that word will not go back to God void without fulfilling the purpose for which it has been said.
And I am saying to you also as I wrap up that prayers are being said in the opposition camp as well.
No, I'm only telling you the word of God, not just petitions.
We wish you all the best.
Prayers are petitions.
In this coming election. For your party and for yourself. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Nice talking to you.
Yes, and that's how it's been on Fireworks today. An interesting, fiery edition. So if you've missed this edition, there are several repeat broadcasts and the times will be displayed on your screen. That's why I urge you to join me again same time next week for another interesting edition of your preferred hard talk interview program, Fireworks. I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo. Thank you very much, sir.
I appreciate you.